light that destroys deception. Tea, I drink the...
Remember that song you couldn't stop humming in 1987? Then never heard again? These are the stories behind 15 artists and bands who gave us just one unforgettable hit before vanishing from the spotlight. From chart-topping singles that defined a summer to radio favorites that suddenly disappeared, these one-hit wonders made a massive splash, then faded into obscurity. But what happened after the music stopped? For some, fame was a fleeting thrill followed by real-world struggles. Others found new paths in unexpected places, from tech startups to ministry. But before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Your support means everything to our growing channel. 15. Catherine Buchanan, Love Is, 1987. Catherine Buchanan's 1987 single, Love Is, stands as one of the most elusive and mysterious one-hit wonders of that year. A smooth, soulful ballad with hints of adult contemporary and soft pop, Love Is made a modest impact when it was released, but it has since gained a near-mythical status due to the artist's complete disappearance from the music and entertainment industry. Unlike many one-hit wonders who either attempted follow-ups or stayed active behind the scenes, Catherine Buchanan seems to have vanished entirely after her brief appearance. Love Is was well received by adult contemporary radio stations at the time, and its emotional vocal performance hinted at a promising career.
Love is everything you ever heard, and you bet.
The track was praised for its heartfelt delivery, minimalistic production, and Buchanan's strong yet delicate vocal tone. However, despite the promise, there were no subsequent singles, albums, or public appearances. No official music video gained wide distribution, and the song never broke into the top tiers of the Billboard Hot 100, though it may have charted regionally or within niche adult contemporary markets. Over the years, attempts to trace Catherine Buchanan's career or biography have turned up almost nothing, leading many music historians and fans of obscure 80s tracks to consider Love Is a true anomaly. With no follow-up songs, no public performances, no movie roles, and no interviews or articles available in the public record, Catherine Buchanan remains the ultimate definition of a one-hit wonder. An artist who appeared with one touching song and then disappeared completely. 14. Ron and the DC Crew. Ron and the DC Crew are a true example of a one-hit wonder that emerged suddenly and then disappeared without a trace. Their 1987 novelty track, Ronnie's Rap, made a brief splash on the US charts before the group vanished entirely from the music scene.
Score, I whipped him with a big landslide.
Leaving behind only this quirky relic of the late 1980s pop culture landscape. Ronnie's Rap was released at the height of the Reagan presidency and capitalized on the then growing popularity of political satire and music. The song is a humorous parody that imagines Ronald Reagan as a rap artist, complete with impersonated vocals and beats that mimic the style of early hip-hop. The song was filled with tongue-in-cheek commentary and a cartoonish impersonation of Reagan, mixing sound bites with beatbox rhythms and light synth production. While not musically groundbreaking, it caught attention for its novelty value, clever timing, and comedic execution. The track peaked at number 130 on the US pop charts in January 1987. At a time when rap was still considered fringe by many mainstream audiences, Ronnie's Rap stood out more for its gimmick than for being a serious hip-hop release. It was embraced by some radio stations and fans looking for lighthearted fare in the political and cultural climate of the late 80s. Despite the brief success, Ron and the DC Crew never released another single. There was no follow-up, no album, no second attempt at satire or pop crossover. The artists behind the project, whose identities remain obscure to this day, never reappeared in the public eye. It's unclear whether Ron and the DC Crew was even a full-time musical group or just a studio creation formed specifically for the release of this single. After 1987, there is no record of the group in music databases, no subsequent public performances, and no other musical credits. Before we reveal the next one, hit wonder, make sure you subscribe, because the next one might just be your favorite. 13. New City Rockers, Rev It Up. New City Rockers are a true one-hit wonder of the 1980s, remembered solely for their energetic 1987 single, Rev It Up. The song made a brief appearance on the US rock charts, peaking at number 8, before the band faded entirely from the music scene, leaving behind no follow-up hits, albums, or notable public appearances. Rev It Up was a high-octane track that blended hard rock energy with glam influences and catchy hooks. With its driving beat, gritty vocals, and flashy guitar work, it fit well within the late 80s rock aesthetic. The song received some airplay on rock-focused radio stations and caught enough attention to earn a brief moment of recognition on the charts. Despite the potential suggested by the single's success, New City Rockers never released a full-length album or any other widely recognized material. There is little information about the members of the band or their activities before or after this release. They seem to emerge suddenly, deliver one memorable track, and then disappear completely from public view. There are no known follow-up singles, music videos, interviews, or reunion attempts. The group left such a faint footprint that even dedicated music historians have found it difficult to track their origins or what happened to them post-1987. 12. Noel, Silent Morning. Noel Pagan, known simply as Noel, made a brief but memorable mark on the music world with his 1987 hit, Silent Morning. The song became one of the defining tracks of the freestyle genre. A blend of Latin rhythms, electronic beats, and emotional lyrics that dominated late 80s dance floors. Born in the Bronx to Puerto Rican parents, Noel emerged from the growing freestyle scene that was especially popular among Latino youth in New York and Miami. Silent Morning, produced by Carlos After Dark Barrios, told the story of heartbreak and longing, featuring catchy synth lines and Noel's distinctive, anguished vocals. The track quickly became a club favorite, reaching number 10 on the Billboard Dance Club Songs chart and peaking at number 47 on the Billboard Hot 100. Its success gave Noel brief national attention and helped bring freestyle music further into the mainstream. However, Noel's follow-up singles failed to match the impact of his debut. Though he released a self-titled album in 1988, none of the other tracks gained notable airplay or chart success. As freestyle began to wane in popularity in the early 90s, Noel faded from the spotlight. He did not pursue any notable film or television roles and rarely appeared in the media after his initial success. Ready for number 10? Hit that subscribe button. This one's pure 80s nostalgia. 11 MARRS, Pump Up the Volume. Pump Up the Volume is one of the most iconic and peculiar one-hit wonders of the 1980s. Released in 1987 by the short-lived act MARRS, the song became a groundbreaking force in dance and electronic music. Despite its massive success, the group never released another track, making them a textbook example of a one-hit wonder that vanished completely after their moment in the spotlight. MARRS was not a typical band. It was a one-off collaboration between two British alternative music groups, Colorbox and A.R. Kane, both signed to the 4AD label. The project was initiated by 4AD as an experimental effort to blend the sampling techniques of Colorbox with the dreamy guitar textures of A.R. Kane. The only result of this collaboration was the single Pump Up the Volume, which fused house music with hip-hop samples and cutting-edge turntable techniques. Its innovative use of samples, ranging from Public Enemy to James Brown, helped usher in the sample-heavy music culture that would dominate the late 80s and early 90s. The song quickly became a sensation. It topped the UK singles chart in September 1987 and made a significant impact in the United States, reaching number 1 on the Billboard Hot Dance Club Play chart and number 13 on the Billboard Hot 100. Its popularity extended into clubs worldwide and helped legitimize house music as a mainstream genre in the UK and beyond. However, despite the monumental success of Pump Up the Volume, the group dissolved almost immediately. The collaboration between Colorbox and A.R. Kane was riddled with creative disagreements and legal complications. A major legal issue involved unauthorized samples, including one from Stock Aitken Waterman's production that led to court action and removal of certain samples in later pressings. The tension between the artists, along with the sample clearance headaches, ensured that MARRS would remain a one-off project. No album followed, no tour, no second single. The members returned to their original projects, and MARRS as an entity simply ceased to exist. Despite the brevity of their career, Pump Up the Volume left a lasting legacy. It is still hailed today as a landmark track that changed the face of dance music. Well, 1987 was truly special because the next one on the list might just be the most unforgettable one-hit wonder of them all. 10. John Astley, Jane's Getting Serious. John Astley is best remembered for his quirky 1987 single, Jane's Getting Serious, a track that briefly brought him into the spotlight before he vanished from the mainstream music scene. Although he had a background in music production and engineering, this single marked his only notable appearance as a solo artist. Jane's Getting Serious is best known today for its association with a popular Heinz ketchup commercial that aired in the late 1980s. The ad, featuring a young Matt LeBlanc before his Friends fame, used the track's catchy synth-driven melody and offbeat rhythm to memorable effect. The exposure helped push the song into modest chart territory, particularly on rock radio. Musically, the track is a quirky mix of new wave and pop rock, with clever lyrics and a uniquely British vocal delivery. It gained some traction on alternative and rock stations, with critics noting Astley's sharp production style. However, despite its commercial tie-in and niche popularity, the song didn't chart significantly on the Billboard Hot 100. Following Jane's Getting Serious, Astley released an album titled Everyone Loves the Pilot, except the crew. But none of its tracks achieved similar recognition. But can you guess which wonder is coming up next? Pause the video now and drop your guess in the comments. 9. Benjamin Orr, Stay the Night. Stay the Night was the only solo hit by Benjamin Orr, best known as the bassist and co-lead vocalist of the legendary new wave band, The Cars. Released in 1987, the song showcased Orr's smooth voice and pop sensibilities, earning a respectable place on the charts. However, while it became a hit in its own right, Orr never followed it up with another solo success, making Stay the Night his lone solo chart entry. The song reached number 24 on the Billboard Hot 100 and performed well on rock radio. With its moody synths, romantic lyrics, and atmospheric production, Stay the Night had a sound very much in line with late 80s pop rock trends. It also benefited from a stylish music video that received airplay on MTV, further boosting its visibility. And if this was one of your favorites, don't forget to give this video a like. Now, despite this solo success, Orr did not continue a solo career in earnest. He released just one solo album, The Lace, in 1986, which contained Stay the Night, but it didn't produce any other hits. Instead, Orr continued performing with The Cars until the band's initial breakup, and later toured with former bandmates and other projects. Tragically, Benjamin Orr passed away in 2000 from pancreatic cancer at the age of 53. 7. Georgia Satellites. Keep Your Hands to Yourself was a massive breakout hit for the Georgia Satellites in 1987, reaching number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. With its infectious Southern rock vibe, gritty guitar riffs, and humorous lyrics, the song became an instant classic and remains a staple of 80s rock playlists. Despite this early success, the band never returned to the charts in a significant way, making them a quintessential one-hit wonder. The Georgia Satellites, hailing from Atlanta, blended classic rock with a Southern twang. Keep Your Hands to Yourself stood out for its old-school rock and roll attitude, catchy chorus, and frontman Dan Baird's raspy vocals. The song tells the story of a frustrated man whose girlfriend won't commit to anything physical until marriage, a theme delivered with both humor and swagger. Although their self-titled debut album went gold, and they had a few other minor releases, none of their follow-up singles charted anywhere near the success of Keep Your Hands to Yourself. Tracks like Battleship Chains and Hippie Hippie Shake received some airplay but didn't make a lasting impact. By the early 1990s, the band had disbanded, with members pursuing side projects or solo careers. Dan Baird released solo material, but with limited mainstream success. While they have occasionally reunited for live shows, the band never produced another hit that resonated like their debut. 6. Bruce Willis, Respect Yourself, 1987. In 1987, actor Bruce Willis surprised the entertainment world by releasing a music single titled Respect Yourself, a cover of the 1971 hit by the Staple Singers. Released as part of his debut album, The Return of Bruno, the song was an unexpected success, reaching number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100. Backed by legendary artists like the Pointer Sisters and produced under Motown Records, Willis's version carried a slick, pop soul vibe. Respect Yourself was more of a novelty hit than a serious musical statement. Riding the wave of Willis's rising fame from moonlighting, the single gained traction due to his celebrity appeal rather than vocal talent. The music video, featuring his comedic charm and harmonica playing, also contributed to its popularity during the height of MTV's influence. Despite the single's success, Bruce Willis's music career didn't take off. Follow-up singles and albums failed to chart significantly, and he soon shifted his focus back to acting, where he would go on to become one of Hollywood's biggest stars with roles in films like Die Hard. 5. World Party, Ship of Fools, Save Me From Tomorrow. Ship of Fools, Save Me From Tomorrow by World Party is one of the standout tracks from the band's 1987 debut album, Private Revolution. The song, a catchy blend of rock, new wave, and pop, reached number 1 on the Billboard Modern Rock Tracks chart, introducing listeners to World Party's distinctive sound. Led by musician Carl Wallinger, who was previously a member of the Waterboys, World Party's style combined intelligent lyrics with infectious melodies, and Ship of Fools is a perfect example of that formula. The song features a bouncy rhythm, memorable chorus, and Wallinger's soulful vocals, with lyrics that reflect themes of political and social commentary. While the track garnered critical acclaim and chart success, World Party never fully broke into mainstream recognition. Despite a few other successful singles, including Way Down Now, the band failed to achieve lasting commercial success. Wallinger continued to release music under the World Party name, but the band's fame remained limited. Ship of Fools remains the band's most widely recognized song, cementing World Party as a one-hit wonder in the US, despite a respected career elsewhere. 4. Hipsway, The Honey Thief. The Honey Thief by Hipsway is one of the defining songs of the late 80s, best remembered as the band's soul hit. Released in 1987, the track became a standout on the charts, reaching number 16 on the Billboard Hot 100 and gaining significant airplay on modern rock stations. The song is a perfect blend of smooth, synth-driven pop and a soulful, atmospheric vocal performance by lead singer Graham Kelling. Hipsway, a Scottish band, was formed in the mid-80s and was praised for its unique sound, which mixed rock, soul, and funk influences. The Honey Thief, with its catchy hooks and evocative lyrics, quickly became a favorite, but it was also the band's only major chart success. Despite a promising start and a well-received debut album, Hipsway never replicated the success of The Honey Thief. Their follow-up singles and albums failed to chart significantly, and after a brief period of activity, the band disbanded in the early 90s. Graham Kelling later pursued other musical ventures, but never reached the same level of recognition. The Honey Thief remains a beloved one-hit wonder, a nostalgic anthem of the 80s, and the only lasting mark Hipsway left on the music scene. Now let's check out the top 3. And hey, are you subscribed yet? 3. The Psychedelic Furs, Heartbreak Beat. Heartbreak Beat by the Psychedelic Furs is one of the band's most commercially successful tracks, released in 1987 as part of their album, Midnight to Midnight. The song reached number 1 on the Billboard Modern Rock Tracks chart and peaked at number 56 on the Hot 100. Marking the band's biggest mainstream hit in the United States. With its catchy melody, lush instrumentation, and emotionally charged lyrics, Heartbreak Beat embodies the atmospheric rock and post-punk sound that define the Psychedelic Furs. The song features a blend of new wave sensibilities with a more polished, radio-friendly sound, which was a shift from the band's earlier, more experimental material. Despite the song's success, the Psychedelic Furs never had another hit as significant in the US. While they remained popular in Europe and continued to release albums and tour, they couldn't replicate the commercial success of Heartbreak Beat. Their subsequent singles from Midnight to Midnight and later albums failed to chart as highly, and the band never reached the same mainstream recognition in America again. 2 Company B Fascinated, 1987. Fascinated by Company B is a standout track from the late 80s freestyle dance era. Released in 1987, the song quickly became a club hit, reaching #1 on the Billboard Hot Dance Music Club Play Chart and number 53 on the Hot 100. The track's infectious beat, catchy chorus, and smooth blend of freestyle and electropop made it an instant favorite on dance floors. Company B, a female trio, was part of the wave of Latin-influenced freestyle artists dominating the dance music scene at the time. Fascinated is a perfect example of the genre's signature sound: upbeat rhythms, catchy hooks, and high-energy vocals. The song's success on the dance charts earned it a place as a classic of the genre, and it still gets play on nostalgic 80s dance compilations. However, despite the track's popularity, Company B never replicated the success of Fascinated. The group released a follow-up album and singles, but none of them garnered significant attention or chart success. After their brief moment in the spotlight, the trio disbanded and their name faded from the public eye. And now, taking the crown at #1, you guessed it, this one's iconic, unforgettable, and totally earned its place at the top. Let's dive in. 1 Paul Lukakis. Paul Lukakis, an American singer and actor, had all the makings of a pop sensation in the late 80s. With his charm, smooth voice, and a danceable track, he quickly caught the attention of audiences worldwide. In 1987, he released Boom Boom, Let's Go Back to My Room, a high-energy, club-friendly song that shot to the top 10 in multiple countries. It was the kind of infectious hit that you couldn't escape, and many thought Paul was just getting started. But after that one massive hit, Paul Lukakis quickly faded from the music scene. His debut album, Tattoo It, released in 1990, failed to chart, and follow-up singles didn't quite take off. Later, Paul made headlines when he publicly shared that he was living with HIV, becoming a strong advocate for awareness and healthcare. His story is a reminder that there's so much more to a person than just their time in the limelight. And that wraps up our countdown. What do you think? Did your favorite make the list? Or maybe you have a hidden gem you think should have topped the charts? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's get the conversation going. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed the ride, and subscribe for more amazing lists. Until next time, stay tuned for more.